Bonjour everybody, and let's please humour me by looking at probably one of the most famous what-if scenarios in wrestling history. What if The Undertaker had joined WCW? At some point during 1998, The Undertaker would shockingly leave the WWE after Eric Bischoff offered him an eye-watering mega money contract. Now, obviously, WCW would treat this signing like they did with Hulk Hogan. The man would get a contract signing parade at Disney's MGM Studios. Thousands of fans waiting for a glimpse of the dead man. And now you'd have Eric Bischoff, Mean Gene and some other corporate WCW bigwigs. They'd just be stood at the podium making the announcement that they have acquired the services of The Undertaker.
Oh my god, I can't wait to see The Undertaker. And ride Star Tours, of course. Yeah. The Undertaker's the main priority, but oh,
Please welcome Mark
what?
Calloway.
It's just an old bloke on a bike.
Brim,
What the
brim,
fuck?
brim. Welcome to WCW Monday Nitro, and it's the usual fare. The NWO causing mayhem in the ring throughout the night. Fast forward to the ending segment, and the NWO are battering the likes of, well, I don't know, Lex Luger and Sting. And some generic Hells Angels wank music fills the arena, and the roar of a motorcycle ignites. The fans know exactly what's about to happen, and here comes Mark Calloway to the ring. The NWO scatter like mice, and Mark Calloway is stood in the WCW ring as Nitro goes off the air. Cut to the following week, and Mark opens the show with a promo. He talks a lot about backstage politics, and it's becoming a cancer to this business, and it's terminal. He's sick and tired of the boys in any promotion clinging onto old fortunes to remain relevant in the business instead of reinventing themselves. He coins himself as the American Outlaw and vows to weed out the people that don't have a place in his yard. Now, Bret Hart's best mate, Bill Goldberg, is still undefeated in WCW at this point, and he's gearing up for the biggest match of his career to date. Halloween Havoc 1998 against DDP for the WCW World title. Christ, that was a mouthful to say. I'm out of breath. Everything goes great for Bill Goldie on the night. He spears DDP into oblivion, does his little face, yeah, and signals for the jackhammer. But then, the lights go out. The lights come back on, and the American Outlaw is standing face to face with Goldberg. Biker chain in hand, he wallops him one in the mug. Goldberg stumbles on his feet, and then a chokeslam straight to hell. Mark drags DDP's arm over Billy G and wakes the ref up to count the 3. Goldberg's streak is over, and Mark has now, and sorry, pardon me pun, has made his mark. Two men would be set to face each other in a clash of titans at Starrcade, and the match would be a chaotic, no-nonsense brawl that would end in a no contest after the rules were thrown out the window after beating each other to a pulp all over the arena. The rematch would be set for Sold Out 1999 in an unsanctioned street fight, with WCW officials deeming the match between the two to be extremely dangerous and don't want to be held liable for what could potentially happen. And the match just wouldn't disappoint. It would be the most violent match of the year. Even WCW's no blood rule would be thrown out of the window for this one. The conclusion to this encounter would be, let's say, Bash at the Beach-esque. Hall and Nash would make their way out onto the stage. Both Mark and Bill, faces streaming with blood, look on distracted. Hall and Nash eventually make their way to ringside, and they get into the ring. Mark squares up to Nash, Scott Hall throws his toothpick into Goldberg's face, Nash jackknifes Goldberg, followed up by Mark's chokeslam for the 3. A new unholy trinity has formed in WCW. Hall, Nash and Calloway, collectively known as the Wolfpack, but not the NWO one. Think of like the Elite in Bullet Club, but Mark has no affiliation with the New World Order. A few weeks go by. Mark is more of an anti-hero now than a fully fledged heel, considering his alignment with Hall and Nash. Mark has yet to compete on television for WCW. He's kept as more of a special attraction by WCW, not wanting the novelty to wear off quickly. Mark makes an appearance to help Hall and Nash win the tag team titles on Nitro, as they celebrate backstage with the rest of the New World Order. Undertaker, which I'm saying from now on because it's just better to say, isn't it, is stood with Hall and Nash. Hollywood Hogan comes over to congratulate the pair on their win. Hogan looks at Taker and Taker shoots a death glare back at him, the tension you could cut with a knife. As the weeks roll by, there's been some division within the ranks of the New World Order. The leader Hogan begins to be wary of Hall and Nash's intentions with Undertaker. One night Hogan confronts the pair about it, not knowing that the Undertaker is just around the corner, and he makes his presence known. Hogan backs off, for now. At Uncensored 99, the Outsiders are defending their tag titles against Curt Hennig and Barry Windham. All is well until the NWO hit the ring and stomp the shit out of the Outsiders, losing their titles in the process. After the match, the onslaught continues. Undertaker storms out and is scattered like mice yet again. Later that night, Undertaker has a shot at the WCW US title against Booker T. And of course, the shenanigans are due as the NWO storm the ring, this time led by Hogan and Bischoff, and they put a whooping on the American Outlaw. All of this madness surrounding the NWO has led to a civil war within the group. The NWO led by Hogan against the Wolfpack led by The Undertaker. The war lasts for months, all leading to September's Fall Brawl, where the NWO take on the Wolfpack in War Games, where the losing team must permanently disband. The NWO consists of Hollywood Hulk Hogan, Scott Steiner, Buff Bagwell, Randy Savage, and for some reason, Conan. The Wolfpack team is Undertaker, Hall, Nash, Sting and Luger. And the end of the New World Order is here as Taker submits Hogan to his Hell's Gate hold. Now after the war, the Wolfpack group would also quietly disband but remain allies on occasion when needed. That November at the Mayhem pay-per-view there would be a fatal four-way match to declare the number one contender for the world title at that year's Starrcade. It would be Undertaker versus Bret Hart versus Sid versus Sting. The match would be a treasure trove for years to come. Undertaker and Sting have a couple of stare downs without touching each other too much because you've got to save that for down the line. It would end with Taker hitting Sid with a massive chokeslam for the three, and for the first time since joining WCW, Undertaker is involved in the world title picture. Fast forward 1 month later to Starrcade. It's on. Undertaker versus DDP for the first time ever. Without all that stalker sort of bullshit, you know. The match would be a back and forth contest, plenty of near falls, the works. And it all ends with Undertaker hitting his first tombstone in WCW to win the world title. What a bittersweet moment it would be after being told by former WCW higher-ups many years ago that he just wouldn't draw any money. Going on into the year 2000, Undertaker would defend the title over the next few pay-per-views against the likes of Bret Hart, Sid, Scott Steiner and Booker T. But it would all come to an end at May's Slamboree pay-per-view against WCW's poster boy, Sting. The Undertaker might have found himself lost in the shuffle a little bit, like many other big name stars. Vince Russo's chaotic booking decisions could have hurt his character, leading to convoluted storylines, random alliances and inconsistent booking. You never know, Russo might have asked him to be the one to take the fall for David Arquette, and then even shove him in the stupid New Brood Blood, what are they called, alliance. Yeah, that could have happened. But I have a feeling that due to Undertaker's strong real-life presence and backstage respect, that he probably might have managed to remain a consistent figure throughout the chaos. He was known for protecting his character, that might have worked in his favour in 2000 WCW. And he would have gone down with the ship at the final Nitro where WWE announced their purchase of WCW. A few months would go by and any news relating to The Undertaker is radio silent. That is until vignettes start to play on WWE television hinting at the return of the Dead Man character at SummerSlam 2001. And that's my interpretation on what if The Undertaker had joined WCW. I hope some people enjoy this, and until next time, stay hydrated.